wouldn't be factoring by grouping. Wouldn't be factoring by grouping. That's a G. So the rules for factoring are the follows. We need to figure out two numbers that fit this criteria. Two numbers that fit this rule. So the rule has two parts to it. Part 1 says two numbers that fit this rule multiplies to AC. So what numbers multiply to AC? And step 2, or part 2 of this rule is, and it adds to B. Alright, so the best way to do this is do an example. So we have 7x squared plus 9x minus 10. So first, we need to make sure we follow this rule. So we multiply 7 and negative 10. We multiply those. So we have, for part 1 of the rule, what multiplies to negative 70, and part 2 adds to 9. So I'm going to create a little flow chart, or a little chart for this. So what we have here is negative 70. And let's just start brainstorming. 170. 1 times 70 is 70. But if I make one of them negative, will not add up to 9. Does not work. Let's try 2 and 35. Whatever one will become negative, it still will not add up to 9. Let's try 70 divided by 3 won't work. 70 divided by 5. Ooh, that looks good. 5 and 14. 5 times 14, if you can look right here, 5 times 14 equals 70. So that checks it off. But one of them has to be negative. So it's a positive 9, so the 5 has to be negative. So this combination works because it multiplies negative 70 but adds to 9. So we're going to be doing this by grouping. So we're going to break this apart, and we're going to replace the B with the negative 5 and 14. So it's going to look like this. Bring this. You get right here 14x positive, then minus 5x. And you bring these down, and you have 7x squared, and then you have minus 10. As you can see, the leading coefficient stayed the same. Oh, let me get the leading coefficient. The only thing that changed was this 14x and 5x. But if you simplify the terms, 14 minus 5, that gives you 9. So there's no difference to this at all. So we just broke it apart so it fits what we need. Next part. So we have, let me rewrite it so we can see it. We have 7x squared plus 14x minus 5x minus 10. This is called the grouping method. So we're going to group the term, the first two and the last two. So we group 7x squared plus 14x and negative 5x and negative 10. And what you do now is you're looking for a GCF. What's the greatest common factor? That has a 7, That has a 7. This has an x squared, but this has 1x. So first you're going to pull out a 7x here. Pull out a 7x and makes it x plus 2. Look over here. That's a 5, and that's a 10. So we're going to take out a negative 5. And you're left off with x plus 2. Right away, I notice that we have 7x times x plus 2 minus 5 times x plus 2. They both share this x plus 2. Since they both share that x plus 2, I'm going to pull them out as with the GCF. So it would look like this. X plus 2 times 7x minus 5. So that x plus 2 was from what we pulled out, and the 7x minus 5 was right here. So that's one example on how to factor by grouping.